Today we are talking about what the Werner CEO has said. Werner is one of the biggest trucking companies out there in the United States, and this is what he said. He said that he thinks the worst is probably over for many trucking companies, including small ones like us. And he was quote unquote surprised how these small trucking companies were able to survive this. I guess because all of these CEOs from big companies, they were hoping that us smaller carriers will somehow die out and that everything on the market will be left for them. But and then he also claims that that's due to COVID funds, that many of these people have been receiving these funds, and that's why they survived. And I don't think that is true. I know there are a lot of trucking companies that have received those funds, but those are bigger trucking companies, the ones that had, I'm going to say, like over 20, 30, and more trucks. Everyone else that had like one or two or three or five trucks, they have not even received, not even close to that. To what the other ones have been receiving, so I don't think that's entirely true, and he's trying to kind of spin the facts that that's even like these what he's saying, it's not being supported by anything. There is no proof. It's just guessing, all right? And everyone is guessing what the future is going to bring, whether the markets are going to be better or worse, and when is that going to happen. Right now, no one is able to predict. Last year we were kind of thinking, well, springtime, everything will go up. And then around the New Year's, we were all saying, including myself, hey, around middle of this year, it should go up, judging by the standards and like the trends that we have been seeing in last, around 20 years. And that's how long I have been in this industry, almost 20 years now. Judging by that, but then that didn't happen. Now everyone was saying, well, this fall or holiday season 2023, we're going to see better prices. But guess what? That still hasn't happened. And now whoever tells me something, I'm not going to believe, and I'm not going to speculate with anything. It's just like we don't know. No one knows when this is going to get better. But just to say that like we hit the rock bottom and we passed the worst is also, in my opinion, not truth. And I think some of these people, like in these big companies, they are seeing the effect of the markets right now, because they had all those contract rates, and now these contracts are expiring. They have to renew them, and now they are in trouble, and that's why you're seeing these big companies failing. Like it's different. Like if I have a three or five trucks and I can't like the work is not good, I can go out and like, okay, maybe I'm not going to give myself a salary. Maybe if I have one dispatcher, I'm going to be taking over, I'm going to be dispatching job. Maybe I'm going to do something else in my spare time. I'm going to do a part-time job, and I will continue with my company, because that way it's easier for me. I don't have that many expenses. But these companies like Yellow, 30,000 workers losing their jobs, if something goes bad for them, then they're done. So these big companies are getting to feel what it is like. But in their case, they're not talking about like thousands of dollars lost in a month. They're seeing millions of dollars lost of potential revenue, and maybe they have to go into their cash reserves now. And they have a lot of people, they're paying for a lot of positions in their companies that they have, that maybe they don't even need. Of course, when the times are good, you need someone to recruit and market and do research and statistics, accounting, a lot of things. I mean, safety, there's a lot of people involved. And at the end, you really don't need all these people for your company to function. If you want to expand and build something bigger, okay, I understand. There has to be a lot of sales, a lot of marketing, but in order to survive, you don't need these many people. So I'm thinking maybe now they're going to be seeing the effects, and they're going to start laying people off, the ones that they don't need. And like the CEOs with these salaries, like with myself, if I'm an owner of a small company, and I see that things are going down, I'm just gonna cut on expenses. Maybe I'm not gonna even pay myself, but the CEO still has to get paid. Like, and their salaries are just ridiculous. So they will have to pay them no matter what the company does. So that's a problem with these big companies. They have these expenses that they have to pay. Otherwise, they can't work. So that's what they say. They said that they were very surprised that these smaller companies have stayed in business. And to be honest, I'm very surprised too, because in every before, when we had recession, and when he had these markets, these bad markets, there were a lot of smaller trucking companies that were closing down. But nowadays, we don't see that. I think from what we have learned is that these bad times will come and go. So you have to save some money, you have to play smart, and you just have to wait until things become better. Shutting down your company when the markets are bad and then reopening again in a year or so, that doesn't make sense. All right, it's better to keep cut your costs and continue working, and just wait it out. And that's it has been it has always showed that that's the best recipe for surviving a crisis like this. And I'm thinking all these smaller companies are counting on that. They're just waiting this out for this to pass. But for these big companies, I think it might be the other way this time. I think that these bigger companies may be shutting their doors soon. Or maybe, like, because we have seen a lot of mergers, a lot of companies buying out other companies, because the problem with them is like they depend on their accounts, and if they lose one or two big accounts, then they will be in trouble. With us, we work with brokers, we work with the spot markets, and it's a lot of people don't like that. Because it's like very you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen next second, and I'm not even talking about days, because anything can happen with these spot market laws. But at least we have a variety of brokers to choose from, and if something goes bad with one broker, we can always work with another one. So that's kind of an upside of being in the spot market, working with hundreds or thousands of brokers at the same time. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. Don't forget that we are offering ready to dispatching courses. Check out the description of this video for that. My name is Enis. I'll see you around.